fired, forgotten, then a legend. They fired him from the company he built. He had no college degree, yet he came back and changed the world forever. This is the unbelievable true story of Steve Jobs. Dream. The man who saw the future. In a small garage in California, a dream was born. A dream that would shape the digital future of billions. But behind the sleek iPhones and glowing Apple logos lies a story of struggle, betrayal, failure, and an unstoppable comeback. This is not just a story about Steve Jobs. It's a story about every dreamer who dares to think different. The unlikely beginning. Steve Jobs was born in 1955 to a young, unwed mother. Unable to raise him, she put him up for adoption. He was taken in by Paul and Clara Jobs, working-class people with little education but great values. Steve grew up in Silicon Valley, where he developed an early interest in electronics. But school bored him. He dropped out of college after just one semester, choosing instead to drop into classes he was curious about, like calligraphy, which would later define Apple's design. Lesson. Sometimes the dots only connect looking backward. Follow your curiosity. The birth of Apple. In 1976, Steve teamed up with his tech-savvy friend Steve Wozniak. They built the first Apple computer in a garage, using borrowed money and huge ambition. Apple was born, not in a boardroom, but in a cramped garage filled with parts and passion. Apple grew fast. They revolutionized the personal computer industry with the Apple II. By the age of 25, Jobs was a multimillionaire. But success brought arrogance. He was demanding, perfectionist, and sometimes ruthless. These traits would soon cost him everything. The fall. In 1985, after a series of internal clashes, Steve Jobs was fired from Apple. Yes, the founder was ousted from his own company. He was heartbroken, humiliated. The media declared him a failure. But he didn't give up. He said, the heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again. He started two new companies, Next and Pixar. The silent victory. Next built computers that were ahead of their time. Pixar, meanwhile, produced the first fully computer-animated film, Toy Story. It became a global phenomenon. Jobs had quietly transformed the animation industry, again. Then came the twist. Apple, struggling in the 1990s, bought Next, and Steve Jobs returned to the company that once threw him out. The comeback. Back at Apple, Jobs unleashed a wave of innovation. The iMac, iPod, iTunes, iPhone, and iPad. Each product was more than technology. It was a piece of art, a symbol of dreams realized. He transformed Apple into the world's most valuable company. His Think Different campaign inspired millions. Yet behind the scenes, he was fighting cancer, a battle he ultimately lost in 2011. The legacy lives on. Steve Jobs once said, "We're here to put a dent in the universe." And he did. His legacy lives in every smartphone, every elegant design, every bold idea that dares to challenge the norm. Jobs taught us, success is never a straight line. Rejection is not the end, it's redirection. Passion and purpose can change the world. If this story moved you, hit that like button and subscribe for more inspiring stories that can change your life. Share this with someone who's struggling with their dreams. Because maybe, just maybe, they're the next Steve Jobs. If you enjoyed this inspiring story of Steve Jobs, please like, comment your favorite part, and don't forget to subscribe to Power Dose 2025 for more powerful motivational stories. Hit the bell icon so you won't miss our next story coming soon. Because here at Power Dose 2025, every dose of motivation can change your life.